After taking 3 points from Arsenal, many Bournemouth fans travelled to the West Midlands on Saturday thinking that the game against Villa was a bit of a free hit. I mean, they've been smashing Europe, right? Superb in the Champions League. The squad depth is quality, top 4 as well. So for the Cherries to emerge with a point, well, we'd have all taken that, right? And look, there were scenes at the end when Evan Nilsson nodded the equaliser, causing limbs in the lower Doug Ellis. And on this show, it's time to talk about it. Welcome, this is Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And I'm Steve Hensman.
Only turns up after a good result, doesn't he?
You do.
Big game player, right?
Yeah.
As you can see, we are at the goods yard in Broadstone. It's decked out in Halloween stuff at the moment. So if you live in this area or if you don't, it's worth popping in for a drink. Fantastic food as well. Speak to Esme and say that Back of the Net sent you. She would absolutely love that. Tom, people are brand new. They can do a couple of things to help us, right?
But they've still not done it. Click the like button. That's good, apparently. Click the bell, then you'll see when all our videos are out. And then click the big fat subscribe button, because that is the main one. So do that, please. Thank you.
So, look, 4 points from the top 4 this season, then, and we're not even 10 games in, and we are now 9 points further than we were at this stage last season. That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're doing all right.
Yeah, it's not bad, mate. Yeah, not bad, considering, we lost our top goal scorer as well. So, and it's, tough fixtures. A lot of clubs and managers talk about tough fixtures. We just go and get points in them. So maybe
which clubs are you referring about?
I'm just saying. Some teams just go, but the fixtures are tough. Well, just get points in them then.
Yeah.
That's what we do. But no, it's been good to watch the whole time, really. But the last few, we've kind of been a little bit more clinical in both boxes, which has been, the difference, really. Because, the Leicester game was another game where we played all right. And even Liverpool, we had chances, but we're not finishing our dinner. So it's good that that's changed a little bit. But yeah, I am pleased for Dom Solanke to go to get his big move to Tottenham, and they're 1 point above us.
No, you are
Stir in the pot.
What can I say? But look, Steve, dropping points at Leicester was not good. And then, 4 points from those two. You're sort of looking ahead at Man City now thinking, could we?
Could we? Are you going to have another one of your little, I feel like a lucky day today?
Do you think we could?
It's got to happen at some point, isn't it? I mean, we keep saying we never get anything, but there's always a challenge. Yeah. Something to be a target to hit and a record to be broken. We haven't managed to get that monkey off our back yet, and we are seemingly doing better against the better sides this season.
Yeah.
Like you say, dropping points at Leicester, one great, played reasonably well, but just think one our day. But then didn't seem like it was going to be our day yesterday. But look at how it turned out. Equally, Everton and Arsenal.
We just keep going to the end as well, don't we? Which is really impressive.
Keep on going.
But yeah, like Steve said, these things got to change. We've never beaten Arteta.
Yeah.
These things have got to change. And every season we seem to get a little bit of a surprise. So who knows?
Do you think that Iraola's almost changing?
The
best manager ever. Do you think he's almost changing your way of viewing football a little bit with the way he deals with stuff? Like, we don't always start with our best 11. Our average goal was before that game on 63 minutes this season. Probably gone even later, of course, after that. Yeah. And he's making little changes in the game where you think, what's going on? And then afterwards, like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
What are you saying? He's a genius?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well, but sometimes you look at it, you think, why is he starting like that? Surely you start as well as possible. But he just doesn't always do that.
I think as well, the main thing from obviously yesterday was that a lot of people would say, and I'd probably agree, Evan Nilsson's best performance was the last game against Arsenal. He was brilliant. And then he's left out.
He won the red card and then he won a penalty.
Yeah.
And he's not in the side.
But Iraola, again, which I feel like I mentioned on every second look, but if you listen to him when they name, what he did with the start 11, afterwards, he always says, and he said it word for word this time, he said, people put too much on the start 11. He goes, they're not dropped. I haven't dropped anyone. It's all, because you think about it, really, it makes changes on an hour anyway, sometimes earlier as we'll come on to yesterday with one of them, but he knows that the finishes are just as important. And that's proven, the assist and the goal are subs again. And then, in the last game, you got Kluivert flicking it on to Christie. Like, he's proving what he's saying, isn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I didn't, and even go back to that, I think it was was it the Arsenal game or the Southampton game where he took off, Araujo at half time for Smith? It was the Arsenal game, wasn't it? Yeah. And we were like, well, that's not the change I would have done. It doesn't really make sense. But it just seems to work, doesn't it?
Araujo didn't have a bad game.
No, he wasn't.
No.
But in that one, you saw them go down to 10. You thought, he might go for it a bit more. But Smith Araujo wasn't the change we expected. But Yeah, he's getting it right, mate, isn't he?
But we were looking in our preview, which we know that you'd watch, Steve, or listen to on the podcast,
Yes,
wouldn't you?
I do that all the time.
But like we were looking at the XG stats, and we know that you're a big fan of XG. You and John Spark absolutely love it.
However, you better get that baseline tracker up.
It's already out.
We were suggesting that Villa have maybe outperformed their XG a little bit, and they have had a few dodgy performances, like Ipswich and Man United wasn't particularly great. So, like, was it that big a result?
I think they have been overperforming a slight bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you could almost say it's a little bit like Newcastle did when Eddie got the best out of that team. Unai Emery's getting the best out of some players. You think, in previous managers, they weren't really, you just look at them and go, they're just an average player. Like your likes of, I suppose, like Jacob Ramsey, for example. I thought he was exceptional yesterday.
Yeah,
Tielemans, I think, got
Tielemans
better.
got better. Yeah, and there's like players like that, and he seems to be getting the best out of them. He's gelling them together nicely. They're playing a nice brand of football. They all seem to know what they're doing. So I think they are overperforming because I would have never seen them in the top four. I am sort of,
especially being in Europe and Champions League.
Yeah, I thought that would really catch up with them.
Yeah.
But even those games that they've dropped points in, you think there's European hangover slightly.
Yeah.
That's what they've. Was it the Ipswich game was after?
Ipswich and United there was a European game sandwiched in the middle. Yeah. And he did mention that again, didn't he, Emery, that they're quite kind of maybe not coping with it as well as they would like, because they don't get me wrong, they weren't at their levels.
Yeah.
No.
But I still think you've always got to put into, when that's the case, you've got to look at the opponents as well and give them some credit. Because what I like about, I'm sure we'll come on to it, but what I like about Iraola is the how he's raised the bar, because after the game, we just drew at Villa Park, we're all buzzing. He goes, I wasn't happy with the performance that much.
Yeah, and that's a nice thing for us to hear, because it wasn't perfect.
But yeah, it wasn't, but we kept ourselves in the game, didn't we? And I think, obviously, we'll come on to our goalkeeper, and also defensively, we kept it at 1, and the way we are, and we've already mentioned, the late goals, we've always got a chance. We've always got a chance in games. But again, we said it in the preview about coaches and saying about getting the best out of players with Villa. Not only was our sub, their sub to bring on Barkley at half time for Alana was also perfect. So both managers changed the game for the better. And I think overall, draw was a fair result because we only got decisions go our way for 1 week.
You sort of get the feeling with Newcastle, especially looking at their league table this season, that they did blow hot at that time where they qualified for the Champions League, but you just get the feeling with Villa it's going to be a lot more frequent for them, and there's a lot more consistency, and it's going to go on this kind of trajectory that they're on. It's not up and down like Newcastle's. I think
Newcastle's had a few injuries, didn't they? They got a few. And I worry about Villa in the same respect. If they get, say, for example, Watkins, or I don't know, one of the Martinez, for example, two of their bigger players. If they lose them, how are they going to cope with those sorts of things? Yeah, they didn't have one person out yesterday, did they?
No, it was just Philogene suspended, wasn't it? That was it.
Full complement of players. So it'd be interesting to see if it catches up with them. But at the moment, hats off to them because they're flying.
They are, but so are we. Look at the league table. We're doing all right, aren't we? Not quite top half, but you know what? Maybe after City, that can come. We are 11th. And Tom, you rightly point out, Manchester United, what is happening to them? Of
they
course,
are trash, aren't they?
Losing to, was it West Ham?
They lost to West Ham
on Sunday. And my God.
And Palace beat Tottenham as well, which was surprising. So now there's only 3 teams that haven't won a game. Two of the newly promoted clubs, obviously, and then Wolves.
Did you see that miss from Dalot, by the way?
Oh my God!
I didn't see the game.
It's one of the worst misses. It was an open goal. The ball's bouncing off the ground a little bit, so he had to sort of.
He took it around the keeper.
Yeah, he did.
So he beat the keeper, chipped over his head, and then was just in an open goal. And he hit over the bar. It was so good. I'll show you in a minute. Brilliant.
Proper Hensman or something.
Oh, proper.
We won't look at the baseline tracker. We won't look at the baseline tracker. We won't look at. Okay, we're going to look at the baseline tracker, and we're going to take a look
because we look good in it. So yeah, I don't mind at the moment with that.
Yeah, we only do it after a win, right? +6, but. The caveat is Villa should not be even in there, but that's good. We're in a good position. We're taking points off the teams when we can at home, but also sneaking them away as well. So look, we're happy with where we are with that. And I think a lot of us were just hoping for a good performance really against Villa. I don't think anyone was expecting anything much, but I suppose that Arsenal game just turned it up a notch, didn't it, Steve?
It gives you to get a performance like that against Arsenal. You just think, that's, we get that excitement. We go, you do you, come on, get your passports out and the rest of it. And we all get up for it. I didn't think yesterday, the game, I didn't think either team were great yesterday. Let's put that out there. No one really dominated that game, I didn't think, from start to finish. They had periods, we had periods. They probably slightly edged it with possession and chances created and stuff like that. But like Tom said, we defended. I thought yesterday, actually, one of the things not a lot of people talked about was how good we were. And I'm glad that Match of the Day actually picked up on it, how good we were defensively as a unit. And like, players tracking back, getting back in. So many times during that game where I thought, Jesus, where's our midfield gone?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're swarming around the ball.
Yeah.
And, that's what you need. And you need dogged performances to get points at places like Villa away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So hats off to them yesterday. Really good.
Yeah. That's the difference from like the Liverpool game. I thought we'd done all right going forward again against Liverpool, but it was just, they just got at us every time. Whereas it looks like we've developed. I mean, the partnership at the back, by the way, at the moment is just unbelievable. Zabani and Celestia are an absolute joke at the moment. And Travers, I mean, he could have stopped Brexit, that guy. I keep watching that save from Banana, that header.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that's a little header around the post, isn't it?
Yeah. What a little touch that is.
We said at the time, because we were right behind that, weren't
yes,
we?
we had a great
It just looked so good.
Oh.
Right then, let's take a look at the team lineups. So look, first thing I'm noticing, no Kepa.
No.
What was the deal with him?
Well, first of all, I heard that his missus is about to give birth.
Right.
And then he was injured. So I don't really know which one it is, but either way, it doesn't matter that much. So we've got Supermark. But that was obviously a surprise because we didn't know about that. We obviously knew about Scott and Cinny, didn't we? Billing was apparently ill, is what we've heard. That's just strange, isn't it, at the moment? I'm not sure what's going on there. But yeah, apart from that, it was relatively as I expected. I did think Clivert may come back in, but I thought it'd be for Dango, not Tav. So that was a little bit of a surprise because he normally goes with Tav. And then, going with Unai over Evan Nilsson. Like I say, it was strange, but as he keeps saying, it's not about the 11. He just rotates it. And to me, that's how you keep a squad happy, by the way. The way he does it, no one ever thinks they're dropped.
Yeah.
Because they know they're just going to have a big part to play. And as for them, I actually did get theirs bang on, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But I just sort of wonder, Steve, whether, because you're like, Unai Emery is probably planning on playing a side that contains Evan Nilsson. Do you think almost some of these things are trying to like a bit of voodoo, like
just
manipulating,
completely mix it up and just surprise them?
Outthinking them and stuff.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he's that sort of cavalier in his approach, but I don't know. I suppose Unai's been fit now for a little while, hasn't he?
He's got to get a chance at some point.
Yeah, and it's not like Evan Nilsson hasn't been playing badly, and I don't think Unai's been playing badly when he's come on. No. I think he's shown bits and pieces. He's definitely a threat in the air, and I thought actually yesterday, I don't think he ripped it up for us. I don't think he'd done enough to get a permanent start up front. But what he did do...
Parts of his game all right.
Yeah. I mean, what annoyed me a little bit is we didn't have anyone gambling on his flickers.
Yes.
And that frustrated me a bit because he was winning a lot in the air, actually.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
His hold-up play was okay.
But that's the thing.
He's a
different player because he won't really run the channels.
That's what I said in the game. He's not making runs. He's not running the channels. He's just there as a target option.
Yeah.
And to get flick-ons and bring the others into play. But
and that's probably why he went Clive over Tav as well, to try and get closer to him. It didn't quite happen.
Yeah, maybe, but it's difficult for the others if they've been playing Evan Nilsson with Evan Nilsson, and there's all of a sudden they've got to adapt their game to try and pick up the second balls off of Unai.
I did think their fullbacks coped with our wingers pretty well for the majority. I said that Semenyo probably wasn't great, but
again,
I thought
playing on different sides.
Yeah, they keep doing that, don't they? I much prefer Dango on the left and Antoine on the right, but he keeps kind of mixing that up a little bit, doesn't he? But it was the changes helped again as they keep doing. But I do think as much as we're going to give ourselves credit for stopping them, I do think they stopped our wide men pretty well for large parts.
One of the things that Neil Dawson said actually was that when you're playing the top side, you need to condense play, make the pitch smaller, crowd the middle of the pitch. So playing the wingers on their naturally wrong feet will naturally make them come inside a little bit, which
that's not a bad shout.
Make a little bit of sense.
We
also, of course, saw that on the bench, no Phil Billing, of course. Max Aarons was back on it. Will Dennis. What a boy. He was on it.
Friend of the pod.
So it was all good. And look, we were in the Barton's Arms. Congratulations for having a pub that was okay for away fans. And that's a good pub, isn't it? It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right, yeah.
Did you get any birthday drinks, Tom?
Yeah, a few.
And a birthday shot, thanks to Sam Booth. Baby Guinness, was it?
I think I was triple parked at one point because no one came over and said, "Would you like a birthday pint?" They just gave me a birthday pint, which was lovely. So
and you're not rude, and you're not going to refuse.
No, exactly. No. I thought, I don't really want to drink today, but when they're offered to you like that, and then at half time I went down. Well, 38. I went down, got us a drink, and then 3 come over,
and then we had to hand them out. So,
Yes.
look, and Sam Booth messaged me this morning saying, did Tom like his baby Guinness shot? And I said it was his most favourite shot since Ryan Christie's.
Hey, well played.
To keep the AFC Bournemouth theme.
Unbeaten when I've had a baby Guinness. Pretty
That's a good thing. A range of player shot.
player shots, yeah. Like the Christian one, you don't know where it's you might have to put it in your eye or something, yeah.
Who would be the flaming Zambuca?
Flaming Sambuca. So what are you going to say?
Sambucas.
It's got to be someone. Well, it's got to be Mexico. Is that Greek? Oh, I don't know. What it is.
Yes.
You know, tequila's obviously going to be like
Araujo. Yeah.
You have to have it in the first 30 because then it goes off.
Yeah.
Are you going to go into that now?
I suppose you've naturally linked into it because it was a difficult early watch really for us. For the first 30 minutes, Villa were sort of all over us. Playing a lot of long balls through, bypassing our midfield, and we were in the preview saying that this is like Cook and Christie going to be worked to the bone here, but they were cutting through with some really good through balls, and Mark Travers nearly got caught out early doors because he was backpedaling, didn't know quite what to do, and Watkins, they highlighted this on Match of the Day actually.
Yeah. Well, I said this at the time. You should have gone near post.
Just hit it,
Yeah.
It was more of a clear chance than I thought.
Yeah. All you have to do is flick it with the outside of his foot and hit the near post.
I mean, that's what you'd have done, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Might have done a bit of pirouette and done it.
Yeah.
Again, you would go into the fact that they were off it, but I still, and obviously that chance, Watkins got to do better. But the fact that Watkins and Rodgers were so poor in the game, you've got to give credit to us at some point.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And the Rodgers thing is just now, my head's on Mars when I think about Morton Rodgers. Like one of the worst players I've ever seen for us. Then he's in the Champions League, like one of the best players in Europe. Then I watch him live. And
putting him in the fantasy football team.
Yeah, and he was useless. It's really bizarre. But yeah, I think that early spell of the game was a worry. They weren't doing much with it, but you just felt like, well, at some point they're going to turn it on it. But he was clearly Andoni shouting at Julian to do something. That he was obviously giving him an instruction that Julian wasn't doing.
He was caught upfield quite a bit. He was out of position, and they kept exploiting that with Ramsey.
Digne and Ramsey and he just always looked like he was in the wrong place.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
And he's done it before, but fair play to Andoni. Just foul goal. I'm not leaving it another 15.
Yeah, I haven't seen this sort of tactical. I mean, I presume it was tactical, maybe not an injury, but we were better instantly. I thought.
God,
But they had a few different chances. I remember Watkins nodding down to Rodgers, who blazed over. Probably should have done better with that. Tielemans, that shot. At the near post that Travis did well to save. Good to see you're on brand with your shirt colour tonight because the colour was yellow.
How many yellow cards were in the game?
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
There were 14 against Chelsea.
Yeah. I hope neither club gets like a fine for this because it was not that type of game.
No, it wasn't
at all.
And I remember, was it late in the game? Because Semenyo got one for diving, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which is outrageous because it's not dive. We'll come on to whether we think it's penalty or not. I think it's a bit up in the air, but it's not dive in my opinion.
No.
Him and Clivert now, just to mention quickly, both got yellows. They're both one yellow away.
They're on the maximum.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So Semenyo's now potentially, he is one yellow away from ban. And that's, God. The Clivert one, Clivert one was he was his usual Clivert pressing aggressively and stopping a break.
They're paid to play. They're told to press aggressively. So you're going to pick up cards doing that.
Yeah, 100%. I haven't seen it exactly, but I think it was something like he gave 6 yellow cards for like the first 8 fouls.
Well, it changed from Andy Madley was going to be the ref, and then Chris Kavanagh, who I think we've had our run-ins with him before as a referee. But early doors, one for Onana, which, on another day, that could have been a red. You never know.
I can't remember that.
I can't remember.
It was so, it was so, Justin Clivert.
You can't remember most of it because you were downstairs.
And then Araujo on 21 minutes, which was blatant.
Araujo's one.
And that led to the free kick. And then that save you spoke about earlier, which was unreal. Was it an Onana header? Was it?
Yes, Onana, the back stick.
My goodness me. And we, like I say, that was going in.
Perfect view, didn't we?
That was going in.
I mean, it's fingertips and it's full stretch fingertips. You don't get, that's sort of, for a goalkeeper, that's your last minute goal, isn't it? That's your worldie save. And I did predict he'd make a few worldies. And he did. And I mean, bar that Watkins one we talked about a second ago, I think he was impeccable the whole game. Yeah. That moment, and you could probably say he was a little bit nervy because he played a little bit, so he didn't come off his line as quickly as we thought he would. Yeah. But apart from that, you go on and I mean, he couldn't do any better.
No.
How he's not permanently in the manager's thoughts now going forward.
I know.
It's just
he come in last season and was good when he come in for that spell. But yeah, I wonder with a goalkeeper, you always say with like a centre forward, if someone hits him and goes in after 2 minutes, then he'll have a good game. I was at goalkeeper. We always go back. Do you remember Travis' debut against Tottenham?
Yeah.
He made they weren't as good a save as people. When you look back, they were kind of.
It was just a brick wall, wasn't they?
Yeah, but he made a few like good saves. The crowd, obviously, and then he had a blinder. And I felt you make a save like that in the first half. Yeah. That's gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, there are savable saves, and we know that Neto was great at savable saves, but there were some that...
that was ridiculous.
That was unreal for him. And
like you said about the Tielemans one near post. That's a good save, but that's a save you should make.
Yeah, exactly. That's a save that you probably should make.
Even when he got a touch to it, I thought, I still going to go in the corner. How he managed to just get that past the post was... Yeah, so, absolutely brilliant.
You Villa fans are going to be chastising their lack of clinicality. But, apart from that save on 22 minutes, that one we just spoke about, really... A lot of their chances were like, from outside the box or long range shots and stuff. I mean, it got a little bit more tense in the second half where they were certainly getting more shots on goal.
Still long range though, weren't they, really?
Yeah, still long range. But then in the same breath, you can also pay credit to Travers, but also our defence as well. Yeah. I thought Zabani was mustard.
And his tackles,
it's weird because you look at the stats and stuff, they had loads of shots, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse if it weren't for Zabani. Compare his performance this season with one of the last ones at Aston Villa, where Watkins ran the show.
Yes, Watkins was
he's matured so much in that short space of time. There were so many times where through balls were easily getting cut out by him. Senesi as well next to him. Defensively, I thought, apart from that right side that will come onto, I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought there was, a couple of covering challenges he made in the first half, or if he gets them wrong or he doesn't read that, the game's gone. We're fighting a losing battle straight away. But it's almost like he didn't want to get too tight to Watkins. He was like giving himself a yard, dropping off. So he knew that he had a bit, they were going to play balls in behind him and he's going to have that bit of space to run and try and cover. And he did it impeccably. I thought actually first half he was amazing. I thought Senesi actually outshone him in the second half.
Yeah.
But we'll get onto that. But yeah, barring Araujo, actually, when Smith came on, that shot that Konza had, I'm sure we'll get on to talk about it, that was Smith dallying on the ball. So I think the centre-backs were brilliant yesterday.
I think Kirkes was solid.
Kirkes, I thought
was pretty solid.
Yeah, I didn't really notice him, you know what I mean? Apart from their goal, that was the only point where I thought he could have done a bit better with that. Yeah. I thought the centre-back's great, full-back's not so great, but forcing them to long-range chances, like you said. The longer the game... You've got to give a bit of credit to the two guys in front of that as well.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I don't think they were like harrying as much as they potentially normally do, where it looks really good on the island in the middle of the park, but I thought they protected them quite well.
No, but like you pointed out, we were compact, and it was very difficult for them to play through us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, when was that goal that got disallowed?
So so that's coming up. So that Araujo, booking led to the free kick where Onana had his chance. But I need to talk about Araujo on this because I've got some screen grabs from Match of the Day, and it's mad when you look at Araujo's marking because they're just lining up for the free kick. You can see her on screen. If you're listening on the pod, sorry, but watch YouTube. He's just to the left of the wall, and Onana is nowhere near where he finishes up when he heads it. He starts his run around here, and Araujo's given the job of marking it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Araujo is still there when Onana has just peeled down to the back post. Yeah. He's got the freedom of the park to put in that header. I mean, I think that's one of the contributing factors as to why. First, he gave away the free kick, and then that really shot
maybe that
where he just switched on.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. So maybe that was something that they know their set piece jobs, and maybe they've all gone. That's that Onana header. That's Araujo.
Yeah. But what's actually also mad is when you take a look at the average positions as well. The difference, as you'll be able to see on screen, Araujo, his average position's actually really deep, a lot deeper than where Kirkes is. But when you compare it with Smith is a lot more advanced up the pitch, which sort of indicates he perhaps wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing.
I think he just looked, sometimes he got caught because he was too high, then he looked too deep. I think he looked like a player that wasn't quite sure of the instruction he was given. Yeah. And he just looked a little bit dazed and didn't really know where to be. And then he gets a yellow, and then they nearly score from his marker, and I think his head was gone a little bit, and it was probably the right call to make. Reminds me a bit of, do you remember Dango at Leicester? Not the last game, the time before against Leicester.
When he was on the left.
He got bought off after about half hour, 40 minutes.
He just looked at a duck out of water.
Yeah, just like it wasn't happening for him. And
duck
sometimes
out of water? Fish out of water.
Fish out of water. A duck can be out of water.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, it can, but there's no issue with that though.
Yeah, that's true. But and I think sometimes you just got to take a player out and you go, it's not happening for you today. Take you out. We'll sort it out after the game and like address what happened. But
speaking of Dango, it was he was guilty of overplaying it in midfield, and we were both making the same call, like pass it to Cook.
Oh, it's like
Me and you at
And
the
he
time,
didn't,
yeah.
and then he decided to take it on, take it around, and lost it. And
Danny-
then that's what then contributed to the goal that wasn't a goal.
I mean, that's fine if you want to do that sort of stuff out on the wing.
Yeah.
When you're out, chalk on your boots and all the rest of it. Don't do it in the middle of the park.
No.
And we both looked at each other and said, don't lose it
Not
there.
there.
And as soon as they turned it over, we were in trouble.
Yeah.
And that led to
the goal.
McGinn goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And you just think, maybe that's a consequence of being so narrow. He's too used to having a bit more time out on the wing. He hasn't got people coming from behind him and surrounding him.
Yeah, you look like, oh, bloody hell, where have all these come
Yeah,
from?
he's turning one way, turning another way, and there's people everywhere.
One thing I was really impressed with, though, as soon as I think McGinn intercepted it and then Rodgers got the ball, and it's almost like telepathy with like Villa, because the run was from Ramsey on the left-hand side, and as soon as McGinn won that ball back, he knew to run.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to like Cole Palmer, his pass on Sunday when he put through... What a pass that was, by the way.
Yeah.
What a pass that was. It's almost like as soon as he gets it, they know. So, like Emery's obviously got the wheels in motion, but the ball was put across and it didn't go out of play, according to the lino. I mean, you and Mark Jackson saying it's miles.
I don't know how you can see that.
Miles?
Yeah, I've looked back at it and gone, oh, that's
Millimetres,
close.
you meant.
I still got it right. Fact of the matter is, I still got it right. There was no part of me, you can see if you watch the vlog, there's no part of me that thought that's not getting chalked off. Because in my end, that was...
I thought you were quite calm about it.
Can you please tell me what I get paid for these linesmen? How close does he need to be to it?
But then it's because of VAR.
They know that
Exactly.
VAR is going to tell
So
them.
don't have him then. Don't have him. Why is he getting paid? Don't have him.
Maybe that's... But there must have only been less than a few millimetres difference between Artur Boruc against Liverpool. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
And then that one was over the line. The other one wasn't.
When you had that one do you remember the one in the World Cup, the Japan, was it the Japan one, where it's the overhang thing?
Yeah.
So whenever I see that now, I'm going, it looks miles out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to know that I'm not looking in line and there could be some sort of overhang. Like,
you look over the top,
a bit like my gut. But,
Yeah, exactly.
One thing you can see
Miles out.
from the angle that they show there, you can tell that it's directly in line with the goal, because it's a vertical line, and even the horizontal line of the penalty box or 6-yard box, whatever it is, it's exactly horizontal. So you know that is the angle. And whilst you got to zoom in, you can tell that it is a millimetre or two, but it's enough. The Sun Football
clearest day from where we were.
Maybe I just try and be a little bit more. I increase sizes a little bit, but I think that's miles out. I think that's
miles. Of course it is.
That's a good 12 inches, I would say.
Aston Villa's opener against Bournemouth, according to the Sun, was ruled out for this, and it's got the eyes emoji, like it was like something absolutely foreign. It went out of play.
Yeah,
simple,
black and white, isn't it?
But
obvious.
You mentioned Kirkes being slightly. Do you think he was convinced it was out of play?
Yeah, he just
because
stopped it.
He didn't really
did you
go
see
in
what
for that challenge from John
Watkins
McGinn, did he?
did as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was sort of stopped momentarily, and then the whistle didn't come. So we just played it to McGinn, but McGinn put it in. Everyone was sort of just going, hey, what's going on? So even he knew.
Yeah.
See, Kirkes knew.
Kirkes knew.
A teenager.
So, look, Steve, I've got to say something, right?
Go on.
When watching the vlog back, I noticed how many times we said pulled off. A lot. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that.
Araujo was pulled off after about 30 minutes.
He was.
Not in a good way.
Iraola, no happy ending for that.
Iraola took him off, and Smith deputised, and that just seemed to, I don't know what it did.
Calm everything down.
Just calm down.
Yeah,
well, you'd like to think that, but like I said, immediately he put us in trouble.
Agreed.
Almost.
Yeah, he did.
And I mean, we're not. I've watched the highlights back, and there was other instances in the second half that I think Smithy didn't shower himself in glory, to be honest. But it was better than what was happening with Araujo. Araujo was he was so out of position such a lot of the time. Ramsey must have just thought, this is the easiest game I've had for ages. He was looking like a world beater. But Smithy, he will always give you that, won't he?
Yeah,
a little bit more calmness, a little bit more freshness, and his work rate. You can't odds it, can you?
You start getting a few shots on goal. Justin Kluivert shot destined for the top. I think it looks a good save, but I think it was relatively easy for Emmy.
Yeah, he was there for the.
It's not Travers level, is it?
No, he was the second best goalkeeper. I mean, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. But he was the second best on the pitch. But no, he was always going to save that. I don't mind him having a go from there. It's a decent strike, but you're not going to beat Emi Martinez from there, I don't think.
Unai had a header wide as well.
Just wide.
Just wide. You might not have seen it. Well, actually, you would have, because it's on screen down there in the concourse. But Dango had relatively tame shot from outside the box on his left foot. It was never really.
No, Martinez dived for it, didn't he? But I think it was just covering his post, but it was well wide. I think a good metre past the post.
Literally know what you're talking about.
No.
Do you not?
No, didn't know.
Right, second half, all he's going to give us advice on what the beer was like.
Right, yeah. No, the stewards, by the way. I'm going to give a big prop to the steward.
We're not going to mention that.
What?
Or will we? I don't know. It's up to you if you want to mention it.
The stewards are lovely.
But it certainly felt like we had more shots in the first half than the second half, right? Until they scored that goal in the second half. Because, we had Unai. I think they had a few other half chances, but I said at half time that Villa shaded it. I think they more than shaded that, really.
What, second half? Or
no,
first
half?
First half. No, I think shaded it as an They were the better team.
Yeah.
But not by, we had nearly just as many chances as them. It's just that theirs were clearer.
Yeah. We worried them, I think.
Yeah, we still worried them a little bit, I think. Yeah, I don't think they were the better side, but there wasn't loads in it, mate.
All right then, Tom, how was your half time then? So you had a few pints. We gave one to Jew Burks. Jew, if you're watching, pleasure. That one's on back of the net or whoever.
I got that.
Did you?
No, I got that one because I bought them. I think I got yourself one, didn't I, Mark?
That's the last time we'll do that in the
much.
preview by saying buying pints. Oh my God. There was like a whole...
But yeah, so I bought myself a
You're stacked.
half-time drink because I was due. And then someone come over and said, there's a birthday drink, like, cheers. And then someone else come over and said, there's a birthday drink, like, cheers. So I thought, I've got 15 minutes. I've got 4 pints here. So, I just made sure I got through them.
The second half was a difficult watch, wasn't it, Steve? I thought.
It was.
Yeah.
There were shots over the bar. There was like Pau Torres who tested Mark Travers with a long distance.
Was that the one
shot.
he tipped over?
Yeah, Tielemans had a shot. I think it was deflected.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was that threw himself at it, but it went over the bar. Watkins had the header across from the right.
Duran's miss.
Mark Travers, Duran's miss as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Travers had his work cut out, but just goes to show that Kepa isn't safe in that number one spot because he was so good, wasn't he?
He was excellent. I can't praise him enough. For someone who, he hasn't played a game. I can't remember when was the last time he played a game.
I don't know.
For us.
Because he didn't even play in pre-season, did he?
No.
No.
But he's like, so he's really, he's got no form behind him, but he's obviously done enough to be, would we have moved him on or got someone else, or would we have let Neto go? If he obviously, everyone sort of rated him enough to have him around.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and he's an international goalkeeper at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, and we've all seen him put in, and go back to Tottenham and what a performance that was. So we know he can do it, and he didn't look out of place at all. In fact, like Tom said, for me, he was a better goalkeeper of the two, and that's the world's best goalkeeper.
So at this point, is it worth just doing the man of the match and ratings now according to who scored? Because
Travers
we think we'll know what that is going to be.
Travers will get it. I'm sure Barkley will do quite well because he come on and scored.
Evan Nilsson, as you can see, he got 7, but Travers with an 8.
Wow.
Huge, and that's across all the platforms. Who scored, safer scored, whatever. The stats are truly in his favour there. So well done, Tom, on getting that right. Really good. But look, some changes were made, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they certainly needed to be made. And one of the changes was bringing on the goal scorer eventually.
Oh, ever.
And also Tavernier as well. I thought Kluivert and Unai made way. Tavernier, his kind of input is underrated, I think.
Yeah, I think it's weird, isn't it? A lot of people kind of been, I say calling for, but saying, he always plays. Does he do much? And then I always go like on a Monday morning normally, and you see all these things come through on Twitter and stuff with all these stats.
Ran the most, put in the most.
Yeah, ran the most chances created, all this stuff. It's always Tav. But I think we're in a position now. We're slowly getting there especially with Dango and the way I think he stepped up. Semenyo, Kluivert, Tav, Dango, Cini when he's fit. Doesn't really matter which one's playing, which one's finished. But I think they can all interchange, which is really nice to see. But I thought they would be the 2 subs. I thought Ever's going to come on for it. It was whether he was going to wait, and then if they had taken the lead, would he have then played Ever with Unai? I'm not sure, but I thought that had been changed, and then it was whether it was going to be Dango or Kluivert for Tav, I guess, because there's no Cini available. I assumed there'd be the changes, and they were kind of what I expected, and it worked quite well.
Apart from Dango with that issue with where he should have given it to Cook, I didn't think he overly did anything majorly bad in that.
It wasn't unbelievable, but I thought it was decent.
Yeah, he was a bit like Kirkes in a way. I didn't. He was just okay on the day. I don't think he really stood out. There was a couple of little errors, but it was always going to be one of the, like you said, one of the ones that gets taken off later on in the game. Going back to Tav, I thought he was excellent when he came on. Yeah. I think I wonder if there was I can't seem to read Iraola, what he's thinking and what he wants to do from game to game.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that looking back on it thinks, was he was he almost playing for a draw there yesterday and trying to play it a little bit safe? No, in the first half.
Oh, okay.
And try and sort of,
soak it up and
not necessarily soak it up, but be more compact, defensively minded, but then also have that little threat.
Yeah.
And then,
potentially with the pace.
but when we lost the goal, then he sort of he rolls the dice.
Yeah, he always does, doesn't he?
Well,
he doesn't hang around too long, does he?
They didn't have a shot after they scored the goal.
Did they not?
No, they didn't.
But we didn't have one up until that point, did we? In the second half.
I don't think so.
No,
it
was all them.
No, it was.
One thing the substitutions did, as we go back to those average positions, it stretched the game out quite a lot, and they actually got more compact after their changes. Whereas, we were stretching them out, and we did that fairly successfully. But we need to tackle the goal first that they scored.
Yeah.
It was more skanky and bobbly than I thought.
Yeah, it was horrible, wasn't it? It was a bit scrappy because of the finish.
Senesi got a touch on it and everything.
Yeah, it was all a bit scrappy. I did say in the preview, by the way, Ross Barkley scored against us. He done it for Luton last season.
Well, I said that Evan Nilsson would score in the preview, didn't I?
But I also said that Bailey's not having a good season, but he always gets numbers. He got the assist, by the way. So, but yeah, it was a skanky goal, wasn't it? It was horrible. It almost feels like that was the only way you're going to beat Travers, by just getting
the only challenge that Senesi put in second half that he didn't.
It didn't come out. Yeah, yeah, it probably was. But yeah, Barkley seems to have this Sterling about him against us now, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's scoring a few against us.
Kirkes, could he? Because the ball was
Maybe.
put at the far post. I don't know.
I think he's caught on his heels a little bit, and he just caught under the ball.
Yeah.
It's his ball to go and challenge for. He's the closest man, but he just I don't know. It's just a good dink over.
You can't win everything.
No, I mean sometimes your position, it's not like you're out of position. You're just not in the favourable position.
Yeah,
and Bailey's coming onto it. Kirkes has got to back off to it.
Yeah.
He probably could have done better if he'd have read it earlier, but it's just one of them things, isn't it?
You said about Barkley, scoring. If he scores, don't worry, we'll go up and score again. You're thinking of the Everton game. I was thinking of the Luton game where he scored for them.
Yeah,
someone made a point, I think it was in the comments on something, on the vlog, that when Barkley scores, Bournemouth don't lose.
It's something.
However,
I do remember the one at Everton
where he celebrated
6-3. 6-3.
I do remember that one. I did see. I'm just going to try and find it actually, because I do remember seeing I think it was this one on Twitter about it actually with Ross Barkley, because like I say, he has scored a few against us. But where is the blooming thing? There it is.
Player, by the way, rejuvenated his career.
Barkley goal for Everton at Dean Court, 90 plus 8 equaliser from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Barkley goal for Luton at Dean Court, 3-0 lead, they lost 4-3. Barkley goal for Villa, 96th minute equaliser from us. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because we got it's a weird one. Barkley has had his own limbs then and been devastated a few times. But again, we've talked about Iraola. I do think that was a really good change, because I thought Barkley just helped them control it more in the second half. Because I think they probably looked at him and Anana's a bit of a destroyer.
Yeah.
But we're the better side there.
He's a ball player.
Barkley's a ball player. And Tielemans was doing enough in there anyway to cope. So I thought that was a good change from them. But equally, we're going to talk about all the big changes. I actually thought for little cameos, Brooks and Adams were decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came on.
I thought they both looked good.
They came on just after that penalty claim from Semenyo.
Which penalty claim?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Which one of the
when
he was put through and I've watched it time and time again.
I think it's just.
Don't know.
I think it's just a pen actually.
I do as well.
I think that's a pen. It's definitely not a dive.
Right, Cash doesn't touch the ball.
No,
he doesn't seem to complain much though. That's the thing.
He doesn't.
No, but I think Semenyo knows that there's a touch coming.
Yeah.
So I think he does go down.
Well, that's what Kai Havertz.
But there was a touch.
Yeah, he didn't get any of the ball.
There was a connection.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the ball. He touched. Well, I think Cine almost trod on his foot, didn't he, as he ran over. And as soon as you feel that touch, you're going to go down.
I read somewhere, I don't know if it's on one of the WhatsApp groups, that VAR cannot intervene with simulation. Apparently, if the referee books.
But it wasn't simulation.
No, but you got booked for it.
Yeah.
So, what you're saying is VAR can't go, that's not a dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they can't. It's just a yellow card, which, like you say, it's the culmination of things. You go, well, he gets booked in the next game. He's suspended. It's ridiculous.
Can they appeal that?
I don't think they can appeal the yellow card either.
I don't know if it works for yellow cards.
No,
but, this is a result of, and I wouldn't say it was all us, but we were certainly on top for the remainder of the game. Are you surprised that Emery did what he did? Because they sort of retreated a little bit. And that's quite unlike Unai Emery to do that. That's not the Basque way of playing football, is it?
I do wonder if there was a little bit of, we're not quite this is from an Emery point of view, we're not quite our levels today. We've got the lead. Let's just...
They've had a busy week.
Yeah, we've been all right here. Bournemouth aren't causing too many problems. Let's just see it out. We've got good enough players to see it out. Yeah. And listen, it's one cross at the end of the game from a free kick. If Tav done put a good ball in, he's right, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's just they just had to be better for a set piece, but Austin should have sorted them out. What's his name? Austin McPhee should have sorted their set piece out. But we got Coops, mate. So
Brooksy and Tyler Adams come on. Brooksy, I thought was quite bright.
Yeah.
Relatively bright.
Yeah, there was a few times he went down a bit of a dark alley and you thought he's trying to do something. But I don't mind if he's coming on and he's been told to try and impact the game.
But at that point in the game, we're looking for a goal, aren't we?
He's got to try.
He's going to be, he's not like doing the Dango thing, losing it in the centre of the park. He's out on the
trying to make something
happen.
happen.
And he's the first person to claim after the ball comes in and hits Leon Bailey. It comes out of the sky. And for some weird reason, he puts his arm out and it hits it. And he's there claiming for a penalty, as do many others, crowding around the ref. They took a look at it. No pen. I don't get it.
I mean, everyone can see it. We were on the opposite side of the pitch, and we could all see it. I mean, like you say, it's come right over. Crowd of players. He's seen it all the way, and he's watched it drop, and he's gone like that.
Yes.
It's. I mean, like you said, I don't know what they're looking at and what they're thinking, but they say it's justifiable. Apparently,
yeah, justifiable is the word. Now, you used it on a tweet, the Dango example.
I know that's different because that's attacking.
There's a different threshold with that, but then what about Adam Smith, Man United at home last season, where they got a penalty?
Yeah.
That his arm was down by his side.
When you say justifiable, and I always go back to, do you remember Jay-Z at West Ham?
Oh yeah.
And those ones where
they crossed it, you're
trying to block. I was about to say, which gig was that? Sorry, Jonathan Tamora, sorry.
You know those ones where you're trying to stop a cross coming in and you're stretching?
Your arm's always going to come out.
You're naturally going to do that.
Yeah.
And they always say that they give those. And said, well, that's justifiable because you're stretching. Yeah. All those ones where you're trying to, I don't know, they have it headed. Your arms are up.
Or where you're diving in for a challenge and your arms
not doing anything.
Lloyd Kelly, Jeff.
But yeah, he's literally not even challenging.
He's trying to head the ball.
Yeah.
And he's got it massively wrong, and he's missed it, and it's hit him in the arm.
And you can see from one of the replays,
arm's out here. His arm's no need to be out there.
Yeah, you can see from one of the replays behind the goal, and you see this for this Semenyo incident as well that we just spoke about just then. A load of Villa fans behind the goal, like
and even Bailey knows.
Yeah, he does.
He looks guilty as sin. If I'd have done that, I'd been going,
So can someone just explain why? It's just unbelievable.
So
why? It's just it's literally. We have one week of decisions didn't go. We got the decisions this week, and it's back to this shite again.
I said this to you on WhatsApp. But how is it that in European football, the Champions League, no one's talking about VAR?
No, not so much.
Why is the standard of refereeing?
I've always said there's a problem when we've got the best league in the world. Apparently so. And listen, we've got all the best teams. Yeah, and you have a World Cup or Euros, and we might get one there.
Yeah,
that says it all, doesn't it? I mean, we should have the best. And I never understand, so we're the best team in the world, not really because of the English team, because listen, we don't win, but we get the best players. Why can't you get the refs from who's the best ref in Spain? Try and get him. And why can't you do that? Why can't we the best league? Why can't we go get the best refs? I don't know, but listen, it's just, I don't really
understand.
Fair
play, is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't really, I don't understand the rules of what a handball is anymore. No, I don't. Because if that's not, then I just don't know what is anymore.
I suppose, thankfully, it's a redundant conversation based on what happened. But
we win that 2-1.
Even the Athletic journalist
should be 3-1 with the other pen.
Yeah. You got to feel for Bournemouth with some of these refereeing calls going against them. Yeah,
but this has been going back historically since we've been in the Premier League, mate.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it has been. It has been. But look, things did turn out okay. It seemed like we had a couple or a few free kicks on that left-hand side.
Yeah, we did.
Almost in the same place.
Yeah.
First one.
Did he catch it, Martinez?
Yeah, he caught it. And then another one, they tried to play it through the channel for Evan Nilsson. I think he did get a touch on it. It was such a funny angle. It was going to be difficult.
Yeah.
But based on the free kick where Emi Martinez caught it, we overloaded the sort of back stick. And that's what we did with this one. Only that's not where Evan Nilsson was.
Sneaky.
Love that. And I'm glad you're wearing that top, mate.
Yeah. And good time as well, because it'll be the international break soon. I saw Vinicius Junior lost 4-0 at home to Barca. If they want a goal scorer on form, Brazil squad.
But there's nothing better than a goal, regardless or not of whether they score it. There's nothing better than a goal when the goalkeeper goes forward as well, because it's just an extra body to worry about.
And also, you see, in years to come or whatever, when they've shown goals, you guys, when you see a highlight, you see the goal is up, it's last minute.
Yeah.
So it's nice, but yeah, it's.
Is that a new thing, Steve? Because that never used to happen so early in the season that they'd send keepers forward at 1-0 down in a match you're probably not going to win anyway.
I only ever used to see it in cup games.
Yeah.
Because you're going out
of the competition. But now it's like...
But now it just makes sense. If you're 2-1 down or 1-0 down...
But surely it's always made sense then.
I wonder if...
It's never really changed.
I wonder if maybe there was this thing called of goal difference. and people thinking, we can't afford to lose 2-0.
Or are those just like the fine
Then
margins
they were the
in
old school
Premier
managers
League?
were more like. I don't know.
Are they fine margins that they just think, let's send them forward?
So Travers creates a space for Evan Nilsson, is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
As well?
Yeah.
It's basically an assist.
Yeah, basically. What I never understand, I don't think we get this. When like sometimes, especially when it's corners more than free kicks, and you send the keeper and then you bring a defender back.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's the point of that?
Surely he's better at hitting the ball.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. But it was the perfect props to
But he's
Tav
done
because
it,
it was a great ball.
done it before, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was a great ball. Yeah, Trav does. It's a great ball from Tav, but the collection of the header, and we've all said about it already, but Watkins' header against us last season, the last minute, was a similar header.
Yeah.
Flicks, and everyone was going on about what a header that was.
Yeah.
Well, this deserves it as well because it's a brilliant header.
Can someone explain to me why Christie was taking corners and free kicks?
Yeah,
as well?
Christie was
and just floating them in there for Martino. It's just catching practice for all day.
Yeah.
Maybe now we're going, Christie, now he can score. Now maybe he can take corners now. We're just trying to set everything out with Christie. Like, maybe he can do it all.
He had the week of his life and now he's doing everything.
Yeah.
He'll be captain next week as well.
But yeah, what a delivery it was from Tav. Great header.
Great
Like
goal.
you say, no one was looking at him because everyone was bunched towards the far post. And
Actually, it was really bad defending from there.
yeah, it was.
Really bad.
he was between two players that didn't seem to take responsibility.
They should have bought a Mings. He'd have won it.
There's a fly in the ointment for me.
What? Oh.
Why did they go and celebrate?
They do it every time.
Why?
Just come to us. I mean, Semenyo did.
Semenyo
On his own.
did. Semenyo did.
They score and they all reel off to no one.
There's a great angle from Marnie, who's a
seen
Villa fan, and we post it on our Twitter. We're going to put it on now. And this is a great angle of the header from behind the stand there where he was. And my God, that just shut in a Villa fan streaming out as well. Always good to see. But yeah, what an incredible goal that was. We've scored 11 goals this season, and 7 of them have been after the 70th minute.
Oh, that's lovely.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Considering it's not even Halloween yet, right?
Yeah.
We're not even at Halloween. We've had Everton, which was just ridiculous. 3 goals in 10 minutes or whatever. We've had this one again. You kind of forget that the Forest leveler was quite late.
Yeah, it was. That was
Wasn't
an
it?
86 or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
we've beaten Arsenal at home. Like, we've had some moments already.
It could have been Dango being.
Dango should have had one in that game.
So if you're
as
a
well.
betting man, goals after 70 minutes,
Yeah, good
over 12 cards in a game.
Yeah. Bournemouth to just kick off and score goals and let in goals.
So when there's
rock and roll football.
when we do a QP competition where we ask for the score and then the time of the first ball,
But everyone's
if you go in 12 minutes, you obviously haven't got a clue.
Yeah, everyone always goes early, don't they?
Yeah.
Because you just naturally do. But it's nice because we used to have a spell of scoring between bloody 38 and 48, which was doing my head in. But yeah,
Why
it's
is
nice. I don't know, but it's nice to score late. And yeah, it's weird. We just seem to have this thing, don't we? Where and Iraola said it against Everton, didn't he? When we had that comeback, he said, "I can go back to the Luton game now because of and say I've got evidence that you can score this match.
Yeah.
Now we can do it again against Everton. Now we can do it again or whatever. Kind of going, why not, boys?
Total
Because
belief.
you've proven that you
Yeah.
keep going to the end.
And they've done it, multiple times now.
Yeah.
And it must be a satisfying stat that we said this in our preview that before yesterday's game, Villa and Bournemouth had the joint most goals and assists from subs this season. It was 4-2 for them in terms of goals and assists and 3 each. Now it's 5-3 for them and 4-4 for us. So he's certainly making an impact there.
Remember,
And,
I wonder if that's why he put Christie on the bench against Arsenal because he went, he could do with a goal. And they all scored on the bench, didn't they? So, yeah.
No, he's
so clever.
He's a genius.
He is so good.
But you know what? One thing I can say, like Villa fans, obviously as disappointing as it was after the game, total class before the game.
They're great, Villa.
Really nice. They're a really
they are good.
I'm
Lovely
not
bunch,
brown nosing, but they're just a really nice fan base. They seem to know.
It's one of my favourite grounds to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been one of our favourite grounds. And then, they feel like, don't get me wrong, they're in a good place. So they're in good spirits, aren't they? Dropping a couple of points to balls on the end of the world for them. They're top of the bloody Champions League, for God's sake. But yeah, they do seem like a nice bunch. And there seems to be quite a lot that watch us, which is nice. But I think they kind of come out and said, look, we weren't quite at levels. Bournemouth kept fighting to the end, fair play.
I'm sure all fan bases are nice in their own way, but they outwardly present themselves to be really nice. I chatted to a load before the game, and they're absolutely sound. Loads of them watch the vlog and watch this. So thanks very much. Give this a like.
They do seem that way, and not all fan bases are nice.
It was a joyful journey back. We always love we always end up dancing in the in the service station when we're queuing for our KFC or whatever, just pressing the buttons with a bit of jive on our hand. Or Burger King for you.
Yeah,
it was a bit annoying because the A34 was closed, but we'll get past that. But we got back in time for match of the day.
I fell asleep. I woke up. I went, where the hell are we?
Yeah.
This little road.
So basically, you watched after football.
Yeah.
Got pissed.
Yeah.
Fell asleep in my car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Take the point.
But we got back for match of the day, and Shearer was quite complimentary about us, wasn't he?
Yeah, very.
And I thought it might be focusing on Villa, but not. He was really nice.
Yeah, no,
There's time for everything.
Yeah. And Shearer's turned a little bit. He's one of the ones that had a go at us, didn't he? With the decision that awful decision to get rid of Gary O'Neill for Andoni Iraola. So he seems to be kind of thinking, I better backtrack a little bit.
He did. He also defended, he said the Dango goal should have been in as well. Should have been allowed at Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Well.
And that's against Newcastle. Yeah, sure. But
so can we?
What, against City?
Can we?
No. I know we're doing well at the moment, but
Just say yes.
they are the best team probably in Europe. Definitely the best team in England. We've never even got a point off them.
But we know how this anecdote ends.
Where's the caveat?
But would I take a point? No chance. We got this, I think.
Right.
I think we're going to do it.
Got an early prediction then.
Go on, 3-0. No. No, I think we... Listen, what I like... Probably... It's weird with City. They're that good that you kind of feel like... watch the scum against them. I'll tell you what, they kept it. They kept themselves in the game the whole game after conceding really early to Haaland. And I think it was not long ago when he lost to him 1-0, wasn't it?
Last
season? Might have been, wasn't it? Yeah, Nuland, and he scored straight away off. But yeah, we've had some little close ones against them. It's probably the best we've played at the moment. The lads should be full of confidence. It's literally hang on, we got 4 points out of Arsenal Villa. This is a real kind of bonus.
Imagine if we don't lose any of these 3 games.
Will we lose again? That should be the real question.
Yeah. Well, look, it's been a pleasure. We need to get playing football across the road very shortly because we're playing 6-a-side this evening. This isn't recorded on Monday. But look, Steve, it's been a pleasure.
On. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Tom, it's been great.
Cheers, mate.
And are you going with that shirt tonight?
No, because it's a bit light, isn't it?
Yeah. So which one are you going with?
Yeah. Have you got a light? Yeah, we're dark tonight.
Yeah.
I've got a Lazio, I think.
Oh, no.
Lazio one.
I don't know. I think I'm wearing this. So AFCB.
Yeah.
I bought a light top.
Oh, did you?
I mean, wear that, can't you?
Yeah, I saw now.
Sweaty on.
Lucky I bought a black top as well.
Hey.
I'm the Cherries, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Love you.